If you're here for the protest, please step.
Hey LinkedIn, there are a lot of things happening in the news right now. And I don't want to get into the politics, into the weeds of that, but there is a question that's just burning inside me with everything happening recently in the news this week. And the one is this notion of employees walking out because the values of the company, not the stated, but the lived values, are not congruent with their own personal values. And why does this matter? I saw a lot of debate online, people taking one position where it's like, oh, how dare they walk away from their job? They should, just be happy that they have a job. And others who are supportive and, really everything in between. And I wanted to take a step outside of the politics of what's happening there and really get down to the question that I think a lot of leaders need to ask. And that is, do values matter? We have made values a staple, paramount in terms of the recruitment and hiring and training phase of new employees because it matters. We know that it matters. 2 of my 3 international TED Talks were all around millennials and leading millennials, and we know from the research that values are very important. So we know this, and we include this in terms of the, when we're training them and we're bringing them on board, because we know that if there's not a values alignment, there can be some disruptions at work, and it's usually not a good fit. And we're so cognizant as leaders of that, right? Well, here's the thing. These individuals, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it again, but these individuals are not lazy. They're not walking out because they don't want to work. They're walking out because, whether it's real or not, their perceived notion is that the lived values are not the same as the stated values of the company. And it's so incongruent and there's such a divide that they feel that they need to speak up and do something about that. And then we're seeing this in other companies. We see the Bank of America now separating themselves from the migrant camps. And as well, you see Google now getting into the fray of this, and you're seeing more and more companies. And now the question I have is, well, now what? What do we do? We went ahead and said values are so important. It's not just about the paycheck, it's about having values when you work. When we say that, now what do we do when our employees are saying, well, you know what, your stated versus lived values are not the same, and your lived values are so discongruent from our own? What do we do? I'd love to hear your feedback on this, because I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong answer, but I do believe that we need to tackle this because if we don't, we're going to see more and more of what happened at Wayfair earlier this week.